up, right?
Yeah. You're living on the edge.
Be my luck. Hey, guys, I think we're live.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Say hello, Mike. Big Mike.
Hello. Long time no see.
Gene.
Hey, how are you, Brett?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on, guys. I am going to pop over, share this thing, and if you guys will talk a little bit, we got some big stuff coming this week, so we will get to it shortly.
Yeah, so he's going to pop off and do that. We're going to let you guys know that we are coming live to you. It's the week of the shed. Everybody's been anxiously awaiting this, I think, since last year, don't you, Gene?
Yeah, I think so.
It was a great event last year. This year, there's twice as many people so far signed up. I think last look, I saw 185. Last year, I think it was roughly 92 or so. So I called down there today. Last year when I called down there this time of the year, I got a hold of Brad personally. This year,
not so much.
Yeah, he's got a list of stuff, I guess, that they're last minute things that they're working on it. But man, everybody I've talked to seems like they're going, and I know there's a new timeline, which I'm excited about. I think it's a lot better than last year's timeline. We got some off-site stuff this year that we didn't have last year.
Yeah, stake selection, check-in.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. And you'll have all that information. We're also going to go over Brett's going to go over some new rules. And I don't think there's many, but just some new things that are happening. And then we'll go over some results that have been happening this year. And I think that's about it. This is probably, unless we make it longer, it may be a short and sweet little video, but Brett's sharing it to every place he can think of, I think. And we're going to try to get it all over the place. So, Gene, any new news for you? Anything going on?
Nah, things are good. I've been doing more judging. We came back from Fort Worth and got real fortunate, won the first contest back, and got our ticket already back for 2021. So I've taken some time to judge a few contests and do more along that line and try to secure up a prime judge certification. So, I think I've judged more than I've cooked. In fact, I know that I've cooked 2 and I've judged 4 or 5 since we got back.
How are you liking the judging, Gene?
I like the judging a lot. It's certainly opened my eyes to some things that maybe I wasn't paying attention to, and helped me to relax on some stuff maybe I was overthinking.
Good. When they come in there, it's surprising how different they look.
Yeah.
Guys will post a picture, and some of them look similar, but when you're in that judge area, we had 46 this weekend in the Bullhead City, Arizona, and they were very, very different as they came in the room.
Yeah, I think the stakes going to the table go a lot faster than I thought, and I think they rolled down the table faster than I thought. And so maybe I was overthinking rest and how long it was cut and oxidizing and color change and so some of that I think I was overthinking, and some of it maybe tweaking a little bit different.
A glare on the left screen.
I think that's Jim Haskett giving.
Is that the reflection off of his head or my glasses?
I think. Gene's on my left.
Well, my forehead too. What am I talking about? Good Lord, you boys are brutal.
Look, Jim's saying that because he scored the highest score ever recorded in SCA history the day I got second. So he put up a monster score down in Jacksonville. November? I think he was like 6/10 off of maybe even less than that. He was so close to a perfect score. Unbelievable. So he's been working hard. And,
I thought it was unbelievable too. It's higher than I've ever seen him score. Usually it's like 210, 212, somewhere in that range.
Well, I guess he
got you, Jim.
You're just hardcore there, Gene.
That was. I mean, he did make fun of the glare on his head. So
he did have a good contest. He had a great cook that week.
Awesome. Hey, Jared. Hey, Steve Jimenez is on here. He's going to be running the Kids Q Nation Kids Cook, right, at the shed? Isn't that right, Brett?
You see him on the screen? No, he's
I
not.
just see he commented.
Okay, you can
See
see
you
the comments, so?
Yeah, I can see him.
Okay. For some reason, I'm not able to throw him on the screen, but we'll figure that out. Debbie Williams, Jane Claire, and I hope to see you the weekend. I will be there. No, he's not. Actually, SCA is running the kids cook, but Steve will be there, and he'll be in there with us.
Oh, good. Good.
So, all good. Hey, Jeff Romero, what's up, brother? I have no clue how to flop them on the screen at the moment. I'm not sure why that's different.
Well,
great.
we can figure it out. So I did the watch party thing to a group. So all you got to do is click. It says start watch party, and you can click it over to your own friends. So if anybody's watching, I want your friends to kind of know what this is about, or anybody's questioning you, you can do a watch party on your own page, and it'll pull this up. So share it that way and spread the word.
Good.
Steak mob in the house. Dr. Pearl. Dr.
New
Pearl
Jersey steak mob.
Where are the kids cooking?
What are the kids
Sure.
No, what are the
Kids are cooking New York strip steaks from Hassel Cattle Company.
6 ounce sirloins is what I read.
I'm sorry, I talked over. I didn't mean to. Tell me what you said, Brett.
I thought I read 6 ounce sirloin steaks is what I read.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I've got the shed rules up right here. So,
yeah, and we're rolling. That's a lot of these things come directly from the shed, not from us. As far as all the information. So I haven't seen it. I was actually going to be somewhere else this weekend, but changed plans to be there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Hal, how's it going, buddy?
Hal's got a big double coming up this summer. So
do you?
In Austin. Last year was a great event. It was super hot, but we had a great time. So anybody who's looking for something in South Georgia in, I think, July, that was a good event. It's at a campground, so you can bring your campers. Just to kind of heads up for everybody.
Well, we just booked one today. We actually posted on the website. It's a 6-pack.
Oh.
6 SCA events in 3 days, one location. It's in Manawa, Wisconsin, April 24, 25, 26. And I don't want to go down the list. Too many events to list, but that was just one big one that happened to go up today.
Wow.
What's the matter, Gene? You stroking out over there?
No, I've got the oldest walkthrough ask the question.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
What's going on, guys? Cowbell. More cowbell, Jeff Henley. We'll get it.
Beto, it looks like right now, last I looked, there was like 185 signed up for the shed so far. So
Nice.
That's a lot of people, man. That's a big event.
That's as big. I was telling Brett the other day. That's as big as the first SCA championship we cooked back in 2017. I think we had 180 there.
Wow.
Yeah, that thing's big. Yeah, and those are Stephen Menace is right. It is Hassel Cattle Company providing those steaks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are good looking steaks. Didn't y'all have those at World Foods?
We had the ribeyes there. Yes.
Wow,
that
that is
actually, the steaks would be ribeyes from Hassel.
I think we're cooking Hassel steaks too. So
yeah. Do you want me to just go through some of these? I've got the information from the shed printed out. You want to just run through that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. And I'm going to try to figure out how to throw this on the screen since I'm inept at this.
So the one thing that looks like they're highly encouraging is to set up either Thursday evening or Friday and not wait till Saturday morning. And so that'll be a big part is just the amount of teams coming to make sure we've got room to fit everybody, make sure that we're not log jammed bringing them in. So they're asking and encouraging folks to come in Thursday or Friday. What you got?
Oh, we got it on the screen finally.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yep. All right. So the first event's Friday night, and that is the Bud and Boiling party. That was the shrimp boil and crawfish cook that they did last year, and that'll be at the shed on site in their back area. And that is Friday night, and then Saturday, everything starts. Breakfast is from 6 to 8 at the Saucery, which is off-site, and that's
that big and friendly.
Yeah.
Do we know that? Sure. All right. Just checking.
Yeah. Well, Everything's vegan friendly.
We're friendly
So-
to vegans, is what he means.
Yes. Yeah.
Delicious.
So 6 to 8 for breakfast, and then registration from 6:30 to 8, and then Cook's meeting at 8 o'clock sharp, and that is at the Saucery, which is on Highway 57 in Ocean Springs, just off site, probably a mile and a half away. So everybody needs to know to show up at the Saucery, not at the shed, for an 8 o'clock Cook's meeting on Saturday morning, and then we will pick steaks, head back to the shed, and then we've got let's just run through the turn-ins. So kids steak is from 12 to 12:15. Bloody Marys is from 12 to 12:30. Turkey is 1 to 1:30. Steak. So steak's going to be a blue steak and a red steak. So red is the first one. That'll be a 2:15 to 3 o'clock. Blue steak is 3:45 to 4:30. Ribs are 5:15 to 5:45, and then awards are at 6:30. Is when they'll start awards Saturday night.
Somebody asked this earlier, Gene. Are the kids cooking in a separate section? I'm assuming.
I don't have an answer to that. It says, and I'm looking through. Steak selection for the kids also is at the Saucery, and the turn-in location will be announced at the event. I know last year they cooked in their own area. I think they also judged in their own area. That'll be made clear.
They're going to cook at their camps.
How many?
They're going to cook at their parents' camps this year.
They're going to cook it. Okay, so there's your answer, Mike.
Okay.
Kids will cook at their parents' cook site.
Okay.
What's up, Overson? Hey, Matt. Can I
There's
wait?
another-
What did?
Can't
I'm
wait.
seeing it. Can't wait. The shed's going to be off the hook. Yes, absolutely. All right. So Bloody Mary. You want to run through the rules and the ancillaries?
It's called Uber,
We
Michael.
talked. Where there'll be a shuttle to the. You got 2 feet. Yeah, it's a 2-foot shuttle. One step in
I
front
heard
of the
there
other,
was
brother.
I heard this. I don't know. You know more about it, Gene, but I did hear there would be a shuttle going back and forth. Is that not true?
I've not heard anything about a shuttle.
Brett doesn't know.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything on that one.
That will be up to the organizer.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's run through Bloody Marys real quick. Normal rules, but the difference this year is you're going to be given a mason jar, a pint-sized mason jar, and a quart-sized mason jar. The pint size is for sampling, and the quart size is for presentation. And you have to do the same drink in both. You can't do one drink in the tasting and one drink in the presentation. They've got to be the same liquid in both. You can't put anything else in the drink jar. No edible objects, nothing for them to sample or taste off of. The other rule is no external support for the presentation jar. So that quart-sized jar has got to stand on its own without support, without help. If it tips over, it's a disqualification. So make sure that you practice. Make sure you know that it's a stable base, but it's going to be a mason jar given to you. Other than that, I think everything else is pretty standard. Appearance, creativity, taste, and execution for the criteria.
Yeah. Ribs or baby back?
Yeah, so ribs are going to be baby backs this year. I'm sorry, no, ribs are Prairie Fresh St. Louis ribs. That's what that's what the email says. So ribs are Prairie Fresh St. Louis. They must be turned in bone in. So they got to be bone in ribs when they're turned in.
Oh Lord, don't start that conversation again.
Cooked on site. Any type of edible garnish is allowable. And you've got to have a minimum of 6 tastings in the box. All right. Rolf, we'll get back to you about steak A and B. Hold on just a second, brother. We'll come back to you. Turkey is going to be honeysuckle, white turkey, breast fillets. Again, you've got to turn in 6 individual portions for the judge, and there's a note. I don't know if something happened one other year, but it must be the same recipe item per turn-in box. So I don't know if some people try to turn in 2 or 3 different things, but one
That's
product
one
is
of the
being turned in.
clarifications on the rules.
Yep. Must be the same recipe item per turn-in box. So you could not do, I guess, for example, sliced turkey, 6 pieces, and then 6 pieces of cubed turkey. You got to turn in all sliced, all cubed. It's got to be the same recipe, same
You
turn-in.
turkey stuffed jalapenos, and then a turkey roulade in the box. It's got to be one or the other.
Perfect example. Yep.
Yeah.
So that covers Bloody Mary. That covers turkey. That covers ribs. All right. So Rolf asked a question about steak A and steak B, and I'll just give you what I understand best. So steak A is going to be the red steak. Steak B is going to be blue. And then those are going to be further broken down into A, B, C, and D. So if you think about to the championship, you kind of had multiple selections going on at one time. So you're going to have red steak, A, B, C, and D. We'll pick. Redraw, should be a redraw. Blue steak, A, B, C, D. We'll pick, and then head back to the campsites to prep and get ready. So it'll be 2 completely different steak selections. With a red and a blue broken into 4 groups.
I'm trying to get Danny on here since Danny is handling that.
Yep.
He's running this event, so I was hoping he would pop on and could answer that question about the steak selection. Because I'm not sure, honestly. I wasn't on the planning of this one.
Yep. So then other than that, it should be pretty straightforward. It's a SCA steak cook. All rules apply. David
still wants to know what the hell a Triscuit is.
It's a little wafer that comes in a box made by Keebler, I think.
Well, last year they gave us a turkey breast the size of a watermelon.
God, you ain't wrong. That thing was huge.
Yeah.
I made sliders too, so 2 big turkey breasts for 6 sliders was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rosenthal asked, how many racks of ribs? I don't know how many racks of ribs. It doesn't say.
I think last year it was 3.
Last year it was 3.
Either 2 or 3.
So a redraw will happen. Jared, I think so. I don't know whether they're going to have everybody pick out of a red and a blue simultaneously and then go in order, or whether they'll do one color, pick, redraw, another color, pick. Don't know how that'll work.
Either way, you're going to redraw. You're not going to use the same number for both rounds.
Correct.
For all, yeah.
Red
Correct.
and steak blue.
That'll be explained in the shed. Can you park by your cook site? Probably not, Jeff. Last year, especially if you have a tent, everybody was set up with tents, could drop and then go park in a different spot. So there was not parking right immediately adjacent to the cook site.
Unless you're looking at your camper or something like that. Like if you're going to camp on the property, or if you set up down in those other fields, they might have it. They had it that way last year, but it's so much bigger this year that it may change, Jeff, just because we don't really know what the setup is this year.
I think the important thing, and I know I've kind of made my mind up, is to be flexible and fluid and just go with it. If we're understanding it's what did you say, Brett? The 3rd largest event outside of the championship, or 2nd outside the championship?
It's the largest one outside of the championship.
Yeah.
So there are going to be 180 people that need to have an understanding that we all got to get along. We got to pick steaks. We got to get back and cook. So.
And I'll tell you this: when I called down there today, trying to find out about the parking situation. As far as last year, they would just line up campers on the bayou down there, and that was great. But the manager, the lady that answered the phone, said that Brad is handling all that. He's got a huge list. She gave me his phone number, and he didn't get back to me because it's the Tuesday before the shed. But what she did say is that she knows everybody they have a serious parking plan because they've already told the employees where they have to park for that weekend. So they have a plan in place, and we'll just find it out as we roll in, and it'll roll smooth. Last year it was, even with 90-something people in that big of an event, I don't think they expected it. They ran it super smooth. So,
yeah. And the weather's looking great. So right now, I pulled it up earlier, and I'll check it again. But it's showing that the rain should be out midday on Friday, and it'll be cool, but we'll have clear weather on Friday evening into Saturday.
Yeah.
Which was a whole lot better than it showed a week ago.
That's great.
When Brett posted that, I hope the weather's good at the shed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, right now it looks like the bulk of the rain is Thursday, late afternoon into evening, and then Friday all day should be less than 10% chance of rain once sunshine hits, and then Saturday evening may creep up a little bit, but it should be pretty good weather.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to cover some of the results from last weekend?
Last weekend, let's see what we got here. I was all the way back in the early one. Hang on.
Go ahead and look at that. If anybody has questions about the shed, shoot them in, and we'll do our best to answer them here. I think the biggest challenge is the Cooks meetings offsite. You're probably better off, a couple of you guys riding in a car down to it. It's 1.6 miles one way and 2.1 miles coming back. But if you guys jump in a car and 4 of you together, I think that'll help. It's the only place big enough to hold this thing. They were worried about weather, and judging shed wasn't big enough to do it. And honestly, with 79 or 180 teams, whatever it is now, there's not much room with all those teams to set up an extra.
Well,
stakes for 14.
Let's just round it. You got 200 teams. That means you got to have 800 stakes.
Yeah.
And so we got to pick 800 stakes in less than an hour.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty quick.
Well, 4 tables, it's
It'll go fast.
Yeah.
It went real smooth last year, so I'm not.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be a lot like the championship. We were split into groups of 50 there, and we did an odd and an even table, and we got through stakes real fast.
Yeah. All right, so I got some results from Zephyr Hills last week.
How do you spell that?
It's Pigs and Z Hills.
Okay.
Barbecue and Blues. They cook out Zephyr Hills. They make a good water, by the way. If you're a water drinker, Zephyr Hills water is good. So in 10th place, we had Miss Sarah Watkins, who always does well. 9th place was Jimbo. 8th place, Mr. John Pendray, top 10 in points right now. 7th place was Jesse Carter. 6th place was Josh Carter.
No relation.
5th place was Jerry Buchan, tied for the points lead right now in the nation. 4th place, Mr. Brian Coleman. 3rd place was Robert Walker. 2nd place was Chad Hughes. And 1st place was Mrs. Brian Coleman, Dana Coleman. She took 1st place over that whole event. And I think, Gene, didn't Brian Coleman walk up? Wasn't there some thing where he walked up to claim a ticket and he didn't have it?
What happened with that?
Yeah. That was a little trickery by Tim Malloy. So the way I understand it is Josh Carter texted Tim Malloy his ticket number, and Tim was standing right next to Brian. And when they called Josh's ticket, Tim showed him the phone and said, "Hey, brother, that's yours. Go get it." And so Brian walked up with the dog and with Nellie, the French bulldog. And so he's up there introducing himself. And I was actually Facebook Live at the time, and I'm sitting there in the chair, and Josh walks by me on my right side. He's like, "Hey, you may want to take a closer look at that ticket." And so it got interesting. It was funny because then he got a call and came back up. It might not have been as funny if he didn't get a call.
Yeah.
I think he took it in a good stride.
I came into your live feed, and it was about time he was getting up there, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. He got a call." And
Go sit down.
All of it broke loose, and I think it was Josh Carter's place, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Josh. It was Josh, and it was Josh's ticket. Tim was messing with Brian. And in all fairness, Brian was getting ready to pull out the ticket. They were kind of verifying that when it all happened. So
that's hilarious. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Blanchard. We had
lesson learned. Don't send a picture of your ticket to your buddy who's standing next to another buddy who might send him up in your place.
Yeah.
Mike, let's run through a couple of these questions real quick before we're too far on it. Do we ever answer what the hell a Triscuit is?
It's a wheat cookie. I told you, Keebler makes it.
Oh, come on now. It's in the rules of shed sent out. What's a Triscuit?
It does not say a Triscuit. It says it's a honey. Well, it does say Triscuit, white turkey breast fillets. So I'm going with white turkey breast fillets.
There you go. All right. All right. Someone to say, yeah. First come to the shed. Where's the judging shed? It should be right in front under a huge tent. Is parking going to be an issue? Of course it is. It's the shed. It's always an issue at the shed. But they've got it. You just won't park by your vehicles in the main area there. I'm not sure about the back area. It doesn't say on the paperwork, does it, Gene?
Last year, all that back area, they've got a ton of acreage back there that they can park people. And
Yeah.
so it'll probably be a little bit further back. The one thing that I have heard is that I'm reading half.
It's got to be a Haskett message. It's very long.
It is. It's
What's up, David?
David, you should indent paragraphs and number them.
Yes,
So-
Steve Jimenez, you can share a bit for ribs.
Last year, so just to answer, because everybody's asking about the amounts. Last year, we went to a refrigerator trailer, and they handed us 2 turkey breasts and the racks of ribs. So I'm assuming it'll probably be some similar thing this year. It's a refrigerator trailer with some guys working in it, and they hand it to you.
Yeah. Rosenthal, will we pick the steaks from the same table for each comp? The
Michael,
only way I think
sorry.
you'd get it from the same table is if you drew A for both red and blue. Otherwise, if you drew A for one and C for another, you'd be at 2 different tables at 2 completely different cooks. So the root of your question is, are you picking 2 steaks on the first pass? No, you're going to pick 1 steak for blue and second steak for blue, and then it'll be a complete order, and then first red, second red.
I think he's referring to will he swap tables after the first row, and I can't answer that because I didn't set it up, so I'm not positive. In a situation like this, it's so big, and trying to manage 8 different steak selection tables, I'm not sure, Michael. I'll check with the person that set it up, but I think that's where he was going with that question.
Yeah.
It's turkey
It's a
brisket.
good question. Will be explained there.
Yeah, I'm not positive enough.
Jared Ogle said that Brad Orson posted a crude setup map on Instagram, but it won't allow him to show it here. So if you go to Brad Orson's Instagram or the Shed Barbecue and Blues Instagram, you may be able to find it for all those asking about the setup and the map.
Well, I can do it.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Brad Orson, we see that one. That's what he meant. Yeah. I'm not positive, Mike. I've tried to get Danny on because Danny's set up the steak selection. Actually, I saw, what's his name? Tim is on here. Tim's helping him. I'm not sure. If you know that, Tim, go ahead and pipe on there, buddy. Please.
He ran it. He did a lot with it last year, and it ran really smooth. It'll be smoother than you expect, Mike. Just because this with 92 people last year, I think it caught people off guard, and it was still so smooth. This was a fantastic event. So it will be. I have no fears that steak selection will go very smoothly, and everything will go fine. It'll be all set up and well done. The Orsons know how to do big. If anything, they can do big for sure. So
we're just coming off the championship where he did the same very thing for more teams. So This isn't going to be too hard.
Hey, Jared Ogle, if you'll send me, if you can send that picture of the map on Facebook Messenger, I'll pull it up and try to describe it.
Tim said that it's very similar to the championship setup at the Shed.
Good.
Good. All right, good deal. All right, I don't see that picture they're talking about, but that's all right.
All right. You want to do Blanchard?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we'll go over the results from Blanchard, the Taste of Blanchard cook-off on the 17th. Looks like they had a good group there. So in 10th place was Gregory Roth. Ninth place, Nakia White. Eighth place, Mr. Jimmy Parsons. Seventh place was Damon Blue. Sixth place was Cody Young. Fifth place, BJ Green. Fourth place was John Sloan. Third place was Rachel Blue, and I'm assuming that's somehow related to Damon, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's his wife. She's
Okay.
actually won the event twice.
That's awesome. I love to see husband and wives get top tens like that. Two walks. Second place, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Adam Gautreau. And then first place, Mr. Cody Avery. Doesn't look like he's fallen far from the tree, or doesn't look like he fell off much. He was. Well, didn't he have a run last year, Brett? Right.
Yeah, he won 4 out of 5 events last
Right.
year.
So it doesn't look like he's stopping or slowing down anytime soon. So that's awesome for him, man. Love to see it. And then the only other one, and I can't find it, and I apologize for that, but it's the Bullhead City one. I don't see the result anywhere here. Let me keep looking. So
It's on there. Kyle won it. I was out in Bullhead City, and Kyle won that. And I'll butcher his name. Matis. Kyle M. It's his first victory. I can't pronounce his name. I never have been. I probably never. I'll learn it. But Kyle won the event. Had 46 teams out there. It was surrounded by a mountain range on all sides. Great event. Great weather. Horrible hangover, but good. Great event.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm looking at the picture, and it looks like Jim Haskett posted it to Jared sent it to me. So what looks like a little bit of a difference for the teams that were there last year, the turn-in tent was set kind of back off between the restrooms and the bayou and the boat slip. Looks like it's a little bit further out in the parking lot with the possibility of tents being all the way around it. And then
Okay.
down a little bit further close to the water, more 10x10 easy ups as well. And then the team judge parking is out towards the front by the road going over the campground. And I think last year there was a big green pool there, and that has all been taken down. It looks like they're putting 10x10 spots up over there as well.
I can pull that results off of my phone. Yeah, that is a new place for it then if it's right there in the middle.
Yeah, it looks like it. Last year I know they moved a bunch of those. I don't know if they were railroad ties, but I know they moved with forklift a bunch of barriers that blocked off some of the previous and the normal parking. It looks like they're putting a big tent there with for the judging, and then a lot of tents around it, 10x10 area. I know there'll be some trailers, so that'd be the one thing to try to figure out. There'll have to be some trailer parking in there for a handful of teams bringing trailers.
All right, I got the results for Bullhead City.
I was about to say I got him too. That's good.
Oh, you got him?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you butcher his name instead of me.
I think I got it. So, all right. So,
Good, brother.
10th place is John Day. Ninth place is Rick Mutterspaw. I'm probably going to butcher these others more than him.
Yeah.
8th place was Gary Williams. 7th place is Matt Hansen. 6th place, Jerry Matazuski. 5th place, Travis Barr. 4th place, Kelly McCarroll. 3rd place, Mike Core. 2nd place, Dave Hartu. And 1st place, Kyle Matazuski. Is that close?
That's closer than I'll ever get.
There was 2 of them in there. You didn't warn me of that. There's a Jerry and a Kyle.
His dad got a 5th place or 6th place.
Yeah.
He won.
Awesome.
So
I've heard that name. So they're obviously been around because they place regular because I know the name.
Yeah, they're both very good cooks.
Yeah.
They both actually qualified for the championship last year. But congratulations to Kyle. It's his first outright victory, and he was ecstatic. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I bet. I've yet to have that, so I imagine he was ecstatic.
Do you still have that foam finger? It says, I'm number 2. I'm
Yeah,
number
I should.
2.
I should. You know, it was funny because the first time I got second, I got beat by 1/10 of a point by John Green, and he didn't have his ticket. And then the second time I got beat by Jim Haskett, who put the highest score ever recorded. So my 2 second place finishes were any other day may have been first place. So that's awesome. That's
Gene
fun.
going full Peggy Grimes over there.
Yeah, sorry. iPad decided to slip on me.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. All right, what other event did we have that you wanted to
That was the only 3 last weekend. Do you want me to go back further?
Let's do one more.
Huh?
There's not many. Probably 2 of them, wasn't it?
So let's see. I am looking at January 18th. We had one in Italy. And then we had Naples, Florida, January 4th. We could do that one.
Why don't you do the Italy one? I want to see how you get those names right.
Yeah, you do.
I know that.
You do Italy, and I'll pull up Naples.
Okay, I got Naples. If you just go to the top 10 on the page there, Gene, it's got all of them. They're already there.
Yeah.
So it's working out good. Anyway, so in Italy at the WEST Winter Extreme in Rain, Italy, the top 10 started out. 10th place was Alessandro Pavanello. 9th place was Daniel Schotters. 8th place was Little Hawk Blackburn. 7th place, Omar Frau. 6th place, Alex Kershke. 5th place, Alex Woldhoos. 4th place, Daniel Rader. Didn't he win the Whataburger Championship?
No, it wasn't Daniel.
It wasn't Daniel? Okay. 3rd place, Janos Falvai. 2nd place, Peter Dehaan. And then 1st place, and his golden ticket was Marcus Bondorf.
There we go.
So that's good. Gene, you got Naples or?
Yeah, I've got it pulled up. 10th place was Amy Buchan. Eddie Smith.
Important question there.
Yeah. Commando. Eddie Smith was 9th. 8th place is Todd Bender. 7th place, Caleb Rainwaters. 6th place was Dana Hillis. 5th place was John Pendray. 4th place, John Sweeney. 3rd place, Janet Hillis. 2nd place, got his ticket, was Josh Carter. And then again, tie for points champion Jerry Buchan, 1st place.
Is he tied right now?
Yeah.
He is.
And he's tied with Sandy Brown. And, it's interesting to me. Man, these folks, I mean, we're literally a couple of months in, and these folks, thanks, Brian. And screw you, Jerry. But
ball kicking right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Anyway, so it's impressive to me to watch these folks this early in the season be wearing it out. I mean, Jerry's been on a run like crazy, and I know him and Amy both have been working really hard all season, and they've got a plan, and they've gotten with the Pendrays, and John's up there. He's in 5th place right now. So if you want me to, I'll run through the top 10 in points as of the 20th.
Yeah, let me hit this one question here for Rolf, and then we will. Info sheet says Wagyu. Yes, that's correct. They're from Hassel Cattle Company. You can see them on their website. There's also a link on our website that'll give you a discount to them. But they are Wagyu steaks. They're very nice quality. We had them at World Foods. I think you guys will like them for sure.
Yeah,
they're good looking steaks.
They look fantastic. All right, so let's do the top 10. Right now we've got Terry Roan in 10th, tied with Andy Williams from Mississippi, and Chris Reed from Tennessee. Chris won his first 2 events. He won the Open, and then he won his next event, which was pretty fantastic. So those are your 8th, 9th, and 10th. You got John Walter Lindsay in 7th. Jonathan Frederick from Tennessee in 6th. John Pendray in 5th. Tim Brown from Illinois in 4th. Lane Holmes in 3rd. Jerry Buchan and Sandy Brown tied for 1st with 66 points. And Lane Holmes is only 1 point behind them, and Tim Brown right behind, 10 points behind his wife. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they both finished in the top 10 this year in points. And that's pretty impressive when a husband and wife, they're both on the road, but you can't just be on the road. You got to be doing well, So That's impressive. Good job to all you guys that are kicking butt so far, man. We're only a couple of months into this year, and God, man.
Yeah.
All right, so Doug Hassel, high prime base marbling score 8 to 10 plus. Do you know what that meant, McElwain? You know what BMS is?
Yeah. Oh,
Base
yeah.
marbling score 8 to
Day.
10 plus. There you go.
That means they're going to be good looking steaks.
Yeah, it means I don't buy them normally.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get a discount on the website.
Well, I'll be buying them for sure.
That means don't overcook them and don't overseason them.
They're going to have a lot of flavor already.
Yep.
Absolutely, they will. I've been cooking some at the house that we ordered, and they're great steaks.
So you want me to do the European points right now too?
Why not? Let's see if you can butcher those names with your
with my European accent. 10th place, we got Judith De Bruin. 9th, Tim Vandenberg.
Oh, body mass score. I'm wrong. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah. 8th is Calliope Gudushat. I hope I'm butchering this. So,
it's a dang good steak. It's exactly right, Jared.
7 is Alex Woodhouse. 6 is Daniel Cavani. 5th, Peter DeHaan. 4. Oh, I'm one behind. So it's 6, Peter DeHaan. 5th, Marcus Bondorf. 4th is Robert, and I don't know, man, this guy, I've hung out with him a bunch. It's Robert, I don't know how to say it.
Just throw it out there, man.
Lucius from Hungary. He spent a lot of time here, and it was fun to see him all over and get to meet him a few times. We cooked with him at the championship, and then again down in Lakeland, Florida area. Anyways, he's a great guy. Finally went back home, but he got a lot of time here and had a lot of fun. 3rd place is Thomas Newman. 2nd, Alex Kershke. And 1st place, Daniel Rader.
Daniel Rader. He won it 2 years ago, won the points chase there.
He's well on his way again. So,
Dennis had a question for you. Oh, man.
Steve, well, it's higher than some of my scores in steak, I can assure you. So it would rival a taste score.
Yeah. Well,
throw some Georgia on it. Yeah.
Thank you for doing those. Those aren't easy names to pronounce. That's for damn sure.
It's fun. Hey, keep them coming. I love the
banter. What happened to Haskett? He fell down on the job there. I thought he was just here as a sprinkler for a while. He's gone.
He just jumps in and jumps out.
Yeah, jumps in, jumps out. All right, let's get into some of the rule changes or updates. We just made it final on a couple things were just clarifications, but the big change was the age of the kids is to compete in steak is 13. We've got some kids that are already competing that are great cooks. And it used to be where the parents would come up with them, and now it's these kids they're gonna pick out their own steaks. They are going to season their steaks, cook their steaks, turn in their steaks. They're treated just like any other team. They are allowed to share a grill with somebody else, just like anyone else, but they are to cook their own food completely. If a 13-year-old or 14 or 15 wants to cook, they can either cook that weekend in steak or they can cook in the kids' queue. They can't cook both. So if they're going to compete, they can cook in steak that weekend, or if there's a kids' queue they wanted to do that instead, they could. We didn't want to make it just because they were 13 to lock them into the adult, and it's quite a bit of money, $150, $100 to get into the steak. We don't want parents to have to do that, but if they want that option, they can do it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think it's a great rule change because we do have some up and coming kids. They're really good. It's always weird, if they want to go up and get the recognition, but they have to be under mom's name or dad's name to do it. So I think it's good. They get the calls, they get the numbers, they get their points on the board if they earn enough. They get all the recognition. So they get called out when we do these shows. They get their names read. So
yeah,
I think it's great, man.
Yeah, I think I like the rule. It just opens up the door for some of these kids to go ahead and compete. They're good enough to beat some of the adults. So, I'm interested to see what happens when the first 14-year-old beats the whole crowd and see how that goes over.
Well, and that's happened, hasn't it? Like some of these kids that are cooking, even under their parents' name, they place and walk pretty regular. So I don't think it's an unusual activity to see these kids doing well.
Well, I agree.
Now they get their name called out, though.
Yeah. Well, look at the recognition they deserve. And so we just wanted to make sure that was clear on it. They're cooking their own. They're just like any other team. We already talked about the regular kids age. If you want to cook in the kids competition, a kids cook-off, it's 4 to 15, just like it was before. That has not changed. We changed the kids' age. The ribs, we went ahead and went in on the ribs, and it had ribs on there, had to be on the bone. We just make sure that was there. A couple other ones were the second most biggest question I get is, the first one is I'll come back to, but the second most frequent question I receive is, what does any fire or heat source mean? There was a thread on Facebook today about it.
I saw it.
Are you kidding me? Anyway, any fire or heat source means that you can cook on any fire or heat source. You want to use a George Foreman, you can beat 46 grown men. God bless you. Drag your generator out there. We don't provide electric, and cook on your George Foreman.
Right.
You want to cook on charcoal and then move it onto your smoker, go ahead. If you want to sous vide, you can try to sous vide and then finish it on a grill or something.
Yeah.
That is all perfectly legal in SCA. You've got 2.5 to 3.5 hours with your steaks before you cook. Once you get them, they're yours to do what you choose. But we just added a couple things on there to try to make it simpler for people to understand.
Yeah, and it was funny. I saw that post, and any heat source means if you want to take a blowtorch and sear the outside of it, so be it. If it's not harmful to somebody, then so be it. I think it was brought up about an engine block and asphalt in the summer, and those kind of things. You're probably not going to win.
I thought it was a witty post. I think
it was funny. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
I thought he was being tongue in cheek, but anyway, that was clarified. Then one of the other things, if you have a Restaurant Depot card, you can still use that Restaurant Depot card, but they have sold the company a while back, and they have made it so hard when you go in there with that card. You used to be able to just scan it because it's actually SCA's card, and you're allowed to use that card. Well, now you have to take it to the front counter, take it to customer service, ask for a temporary card, and they'll let you use the card that day. If you have a card, you're still welcome to use it, the SCA card. But going forward, we're not going to offer that going forward because it is a challenge. I get more phone calls about that than any other thing. It's not working. It's not working. The guys that have it love it. I've got a card.
And it's been pretty easy for me now. I usually just walk in and ask. I'm losing my camera again. Sorry. I walk in and ask for a day pass, and I don't have any problems. I don't scan it and go in, but I request a day pass and never have any problems.
I hope you do, Robert. Let's use a toaster, please. At the shed, use a toaster.
We've got to call into Restaurant Depot, and if they can clarify it, I'd be glad to offer it going forward. But it's just we spend more time with that than anything else. So until we can get that situated, it's just a time suck on the office.
Yeah.
What else? There wasn't many changes, honestly. That was the big one, was the age. Everything else is just clarifications, just better explaining things.
Yeah. We saw that last weekend in Zephyr Hill, some of the clarification with the box placement and the cut, and I saw you had that up earlier.
Yeah. When we put a to-go box in or a box in there, it's a bad reflection. Instead of, this was something else we decided this year. We're going to when they put it in the box, and tell the teams to place it however they want in the box, and we'll cut it parallel with the back hinge. This is a new picture we're using. It's just a illustration of a steak. It doesn't have a particular shape, doesn't have a particular color, it doesn't have grill marks, it doesn't have where it's cooked in a certain way. This is just an illustration of steak, and this is what we'll be showing at cooks meetings, in the judge meetings. The new cut cut stake chart that we showed to the teams. We showed to judges in the judge area. Is that straight? Yeah. Judge area looks like that. You know, the top piece portions where they always, nothing's changed on it. It's just a different stake. We still judge doneness directly in the middle, cut 50-50, parallel to the back hinge if this was placed in this way. But that, you know, those are slight things we've done, and we created another one to help train people in the judge area on cutting. I mean, it's no matter how you throw a stake in there, it's cut parallel to the back hinge 50-50. And we're just doing things like this to try to make it as clear as we can in the judge area and in the Judge Cook's meeting. We're also working on some new videos as well that, you know, like on the stake selection process, we're going to work a video for the placement in the box. We're not going to guide anybody on how to, I don't know what happened to the light. It's getting dark here in the backyard, I guess.
We got mood lighting?
Oh, there it goes. I guess. What's going on? Anyway, so I don't know where I was going with that. I got lost with the mood lighting.
No, just 50-50 in the box. And the one thing I've heard it come up from a few teams, does 50-50 mean 50% of the where the foil disc is, right? And if the stake is centered, then yes, it means the middle of the foil disc. But if, you know, it's the 50% mark of the stake, not the 50% mark of the foil disc.
Yeah, the stake, not the disc, because some people, someone may put it farther back on the stake or in the box, but no, that's just 50% of the stake. And Cody, no, nothing has changed. It is still 50-50. Nothing's changed. It's just a different picture of a stake. We're just trying to not create profiles for you guys.
That's what I want to get at. I think this is a huge change, and for the better. I think what a lot of people may not realize is that the stake we used to have, right, that we saw at the Cook's meeting and things, it had the grill marks. It was trimmed up. And it was done, you know, it was already done with the grill marks and trimmed up. I think the benefit of this that, you know, kind of falls behind the wayside that people may not understand is that the judges look at this, and if they're a new judge, they may think that that's what a steak is supposed to look like. So the fact that now it's an uncooked steak that's just kind of there and doesn't have a particular shape or whatever, I think it's better for them that they, you know, that for us as cooks, I think it's better for us because it doesn't give any preconceived notion that it needs grill marks or that it needs to be trimmed a certain way. And I think this is a huge change, and I think for the better.
Yeah, so, that was actually, I think Ken came up with that, or I'm not sure, but I think that was Ken's idea. Yeah. Are the cuts on a bias or straight down? They're cut on the bias, just like they have been. We try to cut them on the bias best we can. If some stakes are too big, it's hard sometimes to get the angle correct, but we do our best to cut it on the bias so the judges can see the doneness. We did add to the judge book, which is that brings up something else. We did add to the judge book, if they do have to use a knife to see the doneness of the steak, they're able to lift it, but they're to judge appearance on the top of the steak, not to look at the bottom of the steak. That's not to be counted. It's just the top of the steak. It's always been that way, but you know, you guys ask, we listen, and so that was something I took down a note and went ahead and added to the book, just so it's crystal clear in the book.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing too. I know a lot, you know, and I've been not saying that, give up secrets, but yeah, so it's good. So we're only judging the top of the steak.
Now, go ahead and finish what you were going to say there.
No, I got to take your class, Gene. I'm sorry, but I don't have many secrets, and they're obviously not working that well. So,
going forward,
is that true?
Yes, Cody, on stake selection, that's another change. That's a rep thing, not necessarily in the rule book, but it's in the reps. We're actually going to go, if it's up to 29 teams, you're going to do one stake selection, or it goes to 2 tables. We've experimented with this, and it has sped up stake selection. Those Friday night events with 30, you know, you got 40 teams in there, and it takes forever. So we've got it down now, and we should be set. It's 30 teams. You got 1 to 30. You're going to run 2 tables.
Okay.
Great question, Cody.
Yeah.
Oh, and one other thing while we're on that same lane, while we're on a roll, The steaks, if they are in cryovac, will need to come out of the cryovac packaging unless it's stated by the health department they need to stay in. I've been to a couple events where they said the health department said they had to stay in, and they'll stay in. But otherwise, it's in the rep instructions. Get them out of the cryovac. Sometimes you don't know if there's a cut on there and it's pushed together or how much it's pushed in there. We've heard enough on that and seen it enough that it's time for those to come out.
Yeah.
If it's a
we had one, Gene, you were there, I think we did, and we had the cryovac. One event we did anyway. They were cryovac and they stayed in it. And the biggest problem, another big problem on top of that, is that the cooks couldn't see them from one side. They had a glare, so it was harder for them to see what they were looking at because we switched to the other side for the reverse.
Yeah, that was Buckhead beef steaks.
Yeah.
That was up in Atlanta last year at the Royal Oak contest.
Yeah, Buckhead beef steaks. They all came individually wrapped, and so we left them for the ease of it. And, for the promoter, he kind of wanted to just leave them so we didn't have to worry about the table wraps and all that. Anyhow, but one of the biggest problems there, not to mention the cuts, but was the glare and the ability to be able to see that steak and see what you were looking for.
Yeah. Well, those are things that as a rep we're going to have to address with the promoter and ahead of time to know, so they know.
Yeah.
You know, and when we talk to them, we tell them what steaks to order, what the deal is. Our standard is an 1.125" or 3 centimeter boneless or 3 millimeter boneless choice grade ribeye steaks. So that is stressed over and over. They sign it.
I think centimeters a little more right. I'm thinking about 3 millimeters it's going to be like a little sear both sides. And
no, that's off. Yeah, 3 centimeter, but it'll be 1.125" minimum of. We've been working with the
you read notes. You're doing what I'm doing. You're reading notes on the side and getting distracted.
I know, and I was
by
actually
chatter.
checking something down here while I'm
He's
working.
2-0 with cryovac. That's awesome.
Yeah, what was I going to say about that? Oh man, lost my mind. Rolf got me. Cody, no problem, man. That's why we want to do these, and that's why we're changing these things so it is clear for everybody what we're doing.
Well, Rolf, what you can do is just take your fresh steaks this weekend back to the tent and cryovac them and cut them back open again. And
I think you should freeze dry them too.
That
Just do
might
a
work.
quick freeze.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, that's an important thing to think about. I heard somebody make a recommendation. I'm thinking back on the shed. I know for me, a lot of times I go to a steak selection with a pan. Even if we're doing a double, I can put 4 steaks in a kind of a half sheet pan. But you're going to have to get those steaks back from the saucery over to your cook site, which is a couple miles away. So I've got a little small soft side cooler and maybe some Ziploc bags. So I may pick my steaks like normal with my pan, but I may put them in a Ziploc bag to put them in the cooler and carry them back to make sure they don't get dumped on the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little road rash or camp seasoning. Yeah.
Well, not just that. You're going to have you're probably going to get your turn-in boxes that day, then. So you're going to have a lot to bring back. You're going to have 2 turkey breasts, racks of ribs. You're going to need something to bring all that back in. So everybody that's coming to the shed, that's a good point, Gene. I think you need to plan for that steak selection and meat selection moment, and the whole cooked meat, because you got a lot to bring back.
Yeah.
On the steak selection, I just wanted to we had a picture that we posted up. You can't see it here anyway, but if it's under 30 teams, it's 1 table. We don't have many events under 30. Once it hits that 30 teams, that's when we go to 2 tables, and you got 2 tables of 15. Once they go down, they will reverse it. That is in the deal for the second one.
Okay.
So
that's good. You guys tested it.
The other line are always better.
You guys tested this though, and you don't have many
events under 30. What's that?
You guys tested this and said it did speed it up.
Hey, Gene, turn that off.
Tim asked a question. I was trying to respond to him. Tim said, "Tell him about last weekend," and I don't know. Tim, text me a message. What you mean by "tell him about last weekend"?
Chad, Chad asked how big would the turkey breast be. Chad, those last year they were monsters. They were Prairie Fresh turkey breasts, and they were probably, gosh, I would say, if I had to guess, I would say 3-4 pounds a piece. They
They're
were
at least double D's. They're at least double D's, weren't they?
Oh yeah, yes, very much so. There's plenty. You'll have plenty. You've got more turkey than you can fit in the box. Drone them back to the shed. What are you talking about, Jerry?
Drone them. Fly them overhead. Drone them.
Steaks back to the
Oh,
shed.
the steaks. Oh man.
David likes them personally in the cryovac.
Yeah, I would too.
Dave?
I like them in the cryovac as a rep because you just
Makes it a lot easier for us.
Oh yeah, it does.
For sure.
Yeah, Jared said basically it's a whole deboned turkey without the legs. That's about right.
David's still worried about his Tristan.
He said they're getting fillets. That's good.
All right, well,
piece of
turkey breast fillet is just cut on a bias.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, if you think about it, you're coming back with them at 10 o'clock. You got to turn in turkey at 1. So you might want to hope they're fillets.
Yeah.
Well, whatever they are, you're going to have to cut them anyway.
Put them in the pressure cooker.
Yeah, bring an Instapot.
Your Instapot. Your grill grates will work with those, I hear.
Yeah. Oh, they will now. That's right, on the Ninja one.
Right, I've seen them doing it.
That's pretty fantastic, by the way.
Hey, man, don't take all my secrets.
Hey, I want to tell, this is kind of a little bit off topic, but I did make a post the other day about going to Ace and getting my B&B and some, I got the SCA rubs. I just want to let everybody know that when you go, if you buy a certain thing, you can go to Ace and order it online, even if your local doesn't carry it, and they'll ship it right there to you. It literally, I ordered like Tuesday, and Thursday they called me. So it was very easy, very good. And you know, I like to promote Ace, especially my local Ace, any local business. But since Ace is the main sponsor, I think it's a good idea if we can, you know, get them to bring it in, and then maybe they'll just start carrying it. They see it a lot coming through the door, and you know, we may get them start putting it on the shelves at your local one. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there because Ace does a lot, and that's the first time I've used that method, and boy, it was easy and fantastic, and they had it sitting in a buggy up front waiting on me when I got there. So.
Nice. Yeah, well, I used them to order my the rack for my pit barrel cooker, and it was there 2 days later. So
yeah.
It's easy. I mean, there's an Ace in everybody's neighborhood. It's almost as good as Amazon.
Yeah, and they have most of the products that most everybody use is in their warehouse. So when you go online, they have it available, but each local Ace doesn't necessarily carry it. They may not know about it, but if you order it, it goes right to them. So. Anyway, just want to tell everybody, give that a shot because that's almost like Brett said, almost as easy as Amazon.
You want to read the turkey thing again? I guess David's really excited about turkey.
Yeah, I'll read it. It says, turkey breast provided, honeysuckle white turkey, emphasize Triscuit breast fillets.
Oh, it says a fillet.
It's honeysuckle white turkey. And I went on, that's a brand name. I went on their page, and I couldn't find Triscuit, but breast fillets look like they were maybe 3 or 4 sliced in a pack. They've got a variety of products online on the honeysuckle page.
John Green said it's a turkey, like a turkey brisket is what he had put earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know what a turkey brisket is.
That scares me if it's a brisket because every brisket I cook takes about 18 hours. So.
With that Instapot you got.
Well, that's true.
You're trying to put beef body parts on a turkey, and they just don't match up. You got a tender and a fillet. It's different. Yeah. So,
wow.
But that's what it says: honeysuckle white turkey, Triscuit breast fillets.
Okay. Well, that'll be good though because we don't have a huge time between that and turkey.
No.
So. That'll speed up that process.
Yeah. Easiest route is call Brad from the shed. He's the promoter of the event. He'll know exactly what they are. It's his event.
He's usually pretty easy to get a hold of too. So, Rolf
right.
here, I like Rolf's statement. They said his local Ace actually delivered their B&B. to their home because they're Ace Rewards members. So
Okay.
I am one of those now, so I'll have to look that next time. Rob Arocha says cook hotter than 150 degrees. Yeah, you're right. No, it was only 18 because I rested. I like 6 hours. So
Ace is back as a points chase sponsor this year.
Perfect.
We haven't figured out where the points chase winner is going to go this year. So we've been to Bahamas, been to Australia. Europe doesn't sound bad, does it?
Yeah.
Maybe we've been to Mexico.
Japan.
I don't know. I don't know if y'all had that Montezuma's Revenge of Mexico last time, didn't you? I don't know if
that was a different part of Mexico, but yes. I hear that was projectile.
I heard that was a pretty rough event.
That was a challenge at that one there. Where was going with this? Just got lost by the
cauliflower steak or cauliflower rice, Jared Ogle.
We also have a new grill company that's a sponsor of SCA as well. We're going to have multiple grill companies this year. Hasty Bake has signed on for 2020.
Nice.
Any bounties?
Has not been finalized yet, but it is in the conversation.
Any current bounties?
Yes. Going forward,
Pit Barrel.
It's a $500 bounty for this year. They gave away a couple of those last year, and they want to give away a bunch more this year.
Nice.
So
now,
put that on the website today.
Are there stipulations as far as like how you got to cook from beginning to end, and you can't modify your pit barrel, correct?
Correct. Yeah, just cook beginning to end on the pit barrel. You can't use it as a partial cook and put it back on something else. Oh, here comes David again, I'm sure.
Right. I appreciate the shout out, though. I mean, I have to give him that. I can deliver stuff to the shed, but I don't know if I have enough room.
That's John Green. He's back.
John, I love John Green. John Green saved my rear end in Arkansas last year.
That's awesome.
Because I threw my grill.
Did you say he spanked it? What'd you say?
Well, not in that event. The night before, he beat me by a 10th of a point, so you can say that. But no, we had an event in Mississippi on Friday night, event Saturday in Arkansas, and we parked next to each other both days. And I just met him on Friday, and we talked and cut up and had a good time, and got to the event on Saturday, and I went to fire up my charcoal, and I pulled my grill grates off, and I had no charcoal grate. And they had told us to dump our charcoal into a mud hole over in the ditch because it had rained. And when I did, I just threw charcoal grate and everything into the water. And because it, boiled up, I didn't realize I had thrown it in there. So the next day, John Green had two PK charcoal baskets. And he saved the day. If it weren't for him, I got third that day, so I had to give him. They say if you borrow something, then you do better. And John Green saved my rear end that day because I think he got 6th or 7th that day. I love John. He's an awesome dude. But they do have buffalo wings.
He will give you the shirt off his back. He's a great guy.
Him and Kerry both are fantastic. I love them both, man. Love all the SCA family. Everybody's awesome.
Pretty lucky, aren't we? Good group of people. That's the changes I was looking at or wanted to bring up. We talked about the events. What have we talked about the shed a bit?
Yeah, past events.
Specific questions on the shed, you can call Brad at the shed and he'll answer those as far as parking and things like that. He can handle that because that's on his end.
FYI, if you're camping, the campground is full. I got the last spot today. Kind of weird. I booked it a month ago. I called. They now have a new manager. So I called to confirm today. She had no idea about it. And my name was not on the list. And so she said, well, let's see if we can put you up here, blah, 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 if you don't need plumbing and all this. And so she called me back a few minutes later and said she had a spot. And so anyway, it was the last spot available. So I think campground is done. But Brad last year let people camp out throughout the place. So there is still that possibility for those who have camped.
Yeah, and I did that last year. I had my trailer hooked up to a generator and sufficient, and I think you can do that again.
Yeah, if that's the case, then that's exactly what I did last year. This year, I'm going to have power and water and the whole nine. You don't need a generator is the only difference. I don't have to keep everybody awake.
So teams are coming in, or if somebody wants to come in Thursday night, there's a judge class Thursday night.
That's a good call out. Yeah, there's going to be, Danny said there are over 30 people right now, so they've still got, it's getting full, but I think they'll take more. Judges class Thursday night at the Saucery. Go on statecookoffs.com and sign up for it.
Friday night party again. They're providing, do you have that sheet or what they're providing at that party? I think it's free.
They're calling it the Friday night Bud and Boiling Party. Last year there were last year it was sponsored by Budweiser. Matter of fact, somebody I know had a Budweiser grill delivered to him there.
This is true.
You remember that? And got a picture with the Budweiser girls by the Budweiser grill. I think it was a crawfish shrimp boil last year. They had some king cakes out. Don't know if they'll do that again. And that was fun. It was fun to get together. Band playing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a great event they had last year. Was a good band. This year, I've actually researched them. They're called Sugar Jane Cane, and the Bucket Toppers or something. I don't know, but it's Sugar Cane Jane with somebody, and I looked them up on iTunes, and they got some really cool, like just some good background listening, folksy, country, bluegrass, bluesy, awesome Mississippi type music. Really, it's really they should be a lot of fun, and that was where y'all. I had only been doing this for by the time the shed last year, I'd only been doing this for like 6 or 8 months, and so at the shed was where I met so many people that I now know and keep up with on a regular basis at that party. So that event is such a cool event to go. It reminded me a lot of the international party at the championship. You just meet a lot of new people and become friends. And so that shed party really got me a lot of new friends and contacts and grew my SCA family a lot. So make sure and be there for that. It's a lot of fun.
Perfect.
More room for teams. If somebody wants to come in, there's still got room.
I heard today that they're cutting it off. Rob says, don't lean against the door with Mike around. That was a late night deal. I had met Rob Arocha. Had a buddy. We'd gotten cold. We went up into this little room that they had built that I guess eventually was going to be a bar. A friend of mine was passed out leaning up against the door, and I just turned the handle on the door and he fell out the door, and they got a big kick out of that. So anyway, that's what that's about. But anyway, yeah, it's a fun time, man. So make sure and be there. I heard they're going to have to cut it off around 200. So 210, something like that. So we're at 185. So usually if it holds true to most SCA events, these last couple of days I'll have a bunch of folks jumping in there. So make sure and get in before they shut it down.
Get in now or forever hold your peace.
Gene?
No, the only other thing Danny Kennedy pushed out there was if you've not paid, it makes the settlement a whole lot easier if you pay online versus bringing cash. So go on State Cook-Offs. I know for Florida, David Haskett promotes a lot. Register early so the contestants or the promoters know who's coming, and you can always go back on and pay. So get your registration fee paid. That way it makes Danny's job a lot easier Saturday.
He's probably saying that because I hadn't paid yet.
Yeah, probably so.
He's probably saying that guy needs to pay me.
Mr. Judd isn't going to make it to the event. Come on, Dan. There's still time, brother.
How does Bud not come?
I think Goose wasn't going to be able to make it, and he didn't have somebody else there to go with. And I guess
come cook with me, Dan. I can use a partner, Dan. Come on down and help me.
There you go, Dan.
I'll be your bud or bone, whichever one you aren't.
Busy.
Busy.
Isn't that similar? I got a headache. kind of thing.
That's exactly what I just got put in the friend zone.
Come on, boy.
You just put me in the friend zone.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well,
All right. Well, anything for you, Mikey?
No, I'm glad. I know you guys have been busy. I know since the championship, it's been a whirlwind for you guys, and I'm glad to see, the new rule changes, where the sport's going, how great you guys are looking out for it, and that's exciting. This year is going to be exciting, as it every year is. It's already starting out great, and glad you got time to finally sit down and do this, man. I know it's been a big busy time for you guys.
Well, it's been a good time, though. We've actually added someone to help with the office, and she is doing a great job. She's helping with all the postings, and it's actually gave me time to work on the manual and, give it back to Ken. We went through this thing, and I think the stuff we come up was very good, very beneficial to the teams. Last year, it took till April till we had this done. We're done now. It's been sent to the printers. It's being mailed. As soon as it comes back this week, it'll be sent to every promoter. There's also a letter sent to every promoter with the rules and the kind of outlining the changes. So, with Angel helping in the office here, it's really going to help us to, this year our goal is to help build the number of reps, better train the reps, build the number of teams, because you can't have, we're going to have close to 450 events this year, and you can't jump that many events without having teams to help fill that as well. So for new teams, we're trying to create some videos, some kind of SCA 101 for a first-time cook. No instructions in there, of course, of how to cook something, but just the basics of, how does the steak get turned in? Why isn't there a ticket on there? Just some basic things. We're just going to include it in either a video or a document for new teams.
And those are going to be YouTube videos?
What's that?
Those are going to be YouTube on the YouTube
page, yeah, and that's SCA TV on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been on there, go ahead and follow that thing. We're going to release some stuff on there, and everything will be linked from the website to the YouTube page as well.
Right. Well, I just got to say, is there anything that Angel cannot do? I mean, she's what, 17, 18? She can cook like crazy. She'll beat any, human alive if she gets the chance. She sat up there at the booth at the Ace Hardware show with us for the whole day and really rocked it out. I mean, and now she's able to put out all these posts on social media. Is there anything she can't do?
She goes to school part-time, or not part-time. She's a senior, and she's got half day of school, and then work study this is the work study. And so she has the extra time, and she enjoys doing it. She's doing a great job.
Yeah.
And she's far ahead of where I thought she'd be at this point, because it's allowed me to step, somewhat to the side and do some of these other things that needed to be done. So hopefully we'll be able to, we'll have more of these shows. We'll get them underneath an hour before. Maybe we'll do, if we're doing them, it'll be easy to do a 30-minute show if we're doing them regularly. And that's the plan, is, do some of these and do some big cooking videos and stuff like that. You'll see start to come out a little more as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to give her some shout out, because she's doing a great job. And I know she's got a lot on her plate, but she manages it super well. I know they rep up in that area, her and her dad. And
I think Keith's done a great job. We've all got kids. We know how hard it is, and
she's a great addition. I think you guys did great with that. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, great. Steve Jimenez, thank you. Todd, she had a great teacher, Brett Kent.
You're right.
Dad. That's a fact. Dad was a great teacher. So,
there you go.
All right, guys, we appreciate you watching. Make sure to subscribe to SCA TV on YouTube. Be ready for this weekend. It's going to be a great time. The morning may be a little hectic with the cars getting in and out for steak selection, and so just please be patient with that. But we know we're going to be in there running that thing as best we can to make sure you guys have a great event. So thank you, and we shall see you soon.
Yep. See y'all this weekend.
All right. Great job, guys.